Hello, everyone. Hope you are well on this Sunday morning. It is December the 15th, and it's amazing how time flies, y'all. I'm going to go into several things here. I'm going to try not to make this too long, but I didn't really do a video yesterday. I released one that I think I did Friday night when I went outside and looked up in the sky. But anyway, before I go into the rundown, I'm going to give you the rundown here on my board. But before I go into that, I have to show Teddy, because Teddy had a birthday this weekend. His birthday boy turned 8 years old, y'all. 8. Woo. You feel a year older? You feel a little bit older? No? You got a little mohawk going up there. You got your little... Check it out. He said, "Dad, don't do that to me." Okay. We'll do that. But yeah, Teddy turned 8 this weekend, and he can still fly around like he's 3 years old. He plays a lot. So this dog can run like the wind. Still, a little athlete. But he does take more naps than he used to. He does sleep a little more. And you're a little more cuddly. He's a little more cuddly than he used to be, aren't you? But you're still active, aren't you? 8 years old. Congratulations. Happy birthday. All right. I just had to show Teddy with the birthday boy. Now, Ella has one later towards the end of this month. So she's coming up on him. All right. The rundown. Y'all. The rundown here. All right. I'm gonna try to cover these best I can. First, we need to relax. Okay, I'll go into that. In other news, there's other news going on, at least some other news going on. I'll go into a little bit of some other things here. The hysteria gripping the nation, y'all. Whew. Is it gripping you? You know, a big event? Do we have a big event coming? Is this all a pretext for something coming? I'll go into that. What is really going on? What is really going on with all this stuff, y'all? Stuff in the sky. Is it all about control? Possibly. Do not be afraid. Do not feed into the hysteria. It's easy to do. And of course, I'm going to have a passage for the day. I might have 2 of them. Just depends on how I feel. Depends on if it's speaking to me. You know, what is speaking to me at the time. Okay? All right. First of all, relax. Ms. Dawg and I went out yesterday, got out of the house. We had a long week at work, and we work Monday through Friday. And even though part of that's here at home, the work, it's still work. And we got out yesterday and went over a couple of towns away from us, kind of north of us, and a small, quaint little town. It's called Clarksville. If you're in North Georgia, or if you're in the area and you have time, check out Clarksville, Georgia. A lot of you that live around here or live in Georgia, you know what I'm talking about. But it's a quaint little town. It's laid back. It has a shop area near downtown, the little shops and stuff. We like to go there. And then it's just laid back. It's not huge. It's not overcrowded. The people are nice. The locals are nice. People were just having conversation. Nobody was talking about the stuff in the sky. It was just nice. It was relaxing. They have several antique stores. We like to go into those kind of things too. So yeah, it was a nice day. It was relaxing. We got out, we walked around a lot. So we got a lot of, moved our bodies a lot more. We just weren't sitting the whole day. So in fact, we were on our feet most of the day, which was good. It was a nice change. So if you have a chance to do that, relax, get out. Okay. Whatever coping skill you have, we all need them, right? In other news, some other people are weighing in on the hysteria that's going on in the skies of the nation. Trump finally weighed in. Marjorie Taylor Greene, gotta love it. She just said, the government has to know what's going on. They're not telling us. And it's a bunch of BS. She didn't say BS. She spelled it out, told it like it is. I like it. Trump said, Mystery drone sightings all over the country, he wrote on his Truth Social platform. Can this really be happening without our government's knowledge? I don't think so. Let the public know, and now. Otherwise, shoot them down. Shoot them down. I like it. I like it. I love it. And, January 20th, I'm looking forward. I know a lot of y'all, not everybody, is looking forward to that because we have somebody in charge that will at least address things and try to get to the bottom of things. And wouldn't that be nice for a change? And then contrast that with what we have now or what we haven't had. And it's amazing, really. Hysteria grips the nation. These drones / UFOs, I'm still calling them kind of UFOs too, because a lot of the footage I've seen, I'm not sure if that's a drone or not. I mean, do you really know? I don't, until we see one on the ground and really get a close look, if we ever will, we don't really know, because some of the footage I've seen, they're glowing, they just disappear and reappear. The movements that they're making is weird. So that to me is not identified. It's an unidentified flying object. So we can call them, we're getting into semantics, I guess. You can call them drones, UFOs, I think both terms are correct, actually, or acceptable at least at this point. But hysteria is gripping the nation. It looks like the phenomenon is spreading to just about every state or most states. California even is reporting them. I think about the only nation I can think of, and I know some people, even in Texas, I was going to say Texas, I haven't really heard much about them being in Texas, but virtually any state, people are saying they're seeing this stuff. So in Georgia too, right here. Although not heavily. I did go out last night again and walked around a while, and I didn't see a thing. Now, we had a lot of cloud cover. We've had cloud cover here for the last 2-3 days, actually. But I didn't see, I didn't spot anything last night. So it was quiet. But seems to be mostly in New Jersey, New York, the Northeast. Concentrated there, Virginia, of course, hearing about them. Like I said, in many other states. So the hysteria is gripping, and people are like wondering what is going on. Is a big event coming? I don't know. There's theories. There's all kinds of theories about what is really going on here and what's to come. This could all just all of a sudden dissipate and stop. There's speculation that this is just a huge exercise by our government, and it's top secret on a need-to-know basis. That might explain why a lot of these officials are like, we don't know what they are, acting dumb. But it could be a huge exercise to be one of several things. They could be sniffing for or trying to detect nuclear devices that are planted in the country. That's possible. That's frightening, but it's possible. It could also be a huge exercise for other reasons, like just testing their spying ability on us, like we're the test subjects, like we're the rats in the maze. That's very possible, too. I think that's very plausible. I think they could be sniffing for nuclear stuff as well. That's a very plausible explanation as well. But also they could just be a huge exercise to test their capability as far as detecting other things and just surveillance, which they're surveilling us and maybe their own, military installations, our own military and a vital infrastructure. That could be it. It could also be, I think it still could be a possibility of a foreign adversary, although I don't think that's as likely at this point. I've gone back and forth on that, but the more it goes on and the more we step back and look at it and think about it, it's probably our own stuff. It's probably our own. Now, if it's our own, then again, it's either they're really, what's the objective here? There's a lot of speculation that this is leading up to a big event, a big celestial show to further scare people into agreeing to something that exerts more control over us. I mean, think about it. Scared people will agree to just about anything to make it stop. I mean, we learned this in 2020, did we not? When scared people agreed to such measures, I'll just put it that way, that it was really something to watch and experience back in 2020, and still, these days even. So to agree to, well, I won't go on. But so what's really going on? What's the objective here? I believe that whatever it is, whether it's ours, foreign, and if it's ours, which we believe it is, whether they're surveilling us or just testing their abilities, I think regardless of that, there's a good chance it could result in measures that exert more control over the people. And especially, it would make sense. That's very plausible. And it would make sense if this is leading up to some big event that will manipulate the people into being even more fearful and worried about what's coming or what could happen. Then, as a result, they could take advantage of that and pass more laws or pass something that exerts more control, more authoritarian over us. I think that makes sense too. Now, the timing to me is very interesting too and concerning, because what do we have coming up? We have January 20th. We have an inauguration coming up. We have Trump arriving. His influence is already out there. And that scares a lot of people that like power. It scares a lot of people, which I'm neglecting to say. Speaking of power, I'm going to take a side trip here for a moment. Bear with me. In other news, real quick here. Y'all, I gotta talk about this. You probably heard about it, but what in the world we got a problem in our government with these old people that have been around for dang ever. I mean, we saw this with this Feinstein lady that basically, that was terrible. But now we got the turtle man, Mitch McConnell, the biggest rhino I've ever seen. And then Nancy Pelosi, well, I get 84 years old. And not so much in age. I know people can be affected. People can have mental faculties into their 80s and even 90s. But maybe term limits is a good idea. Term limits. These people just hold on. And when you look at the psychology of this, and I'm interested in this part, of course, what I do, but in Mitch McConnell, dude is all jacked up all the time. They have to wake him up. They have to keep him from zoning out and falling down. Nancy, he's wheeled around in a wheelchair half the time. Nancy Pelosi, now she's laid up in the hospital with a broken hip. What is it with these people? They think they're going to live forever? What kind of power mad hungry psyche do you have to have? What kind of ego do you have to hold on that tight into your 80s? Enjoy some life, people. They could have bowed out and been there. Money's not a problem. Money's not an issue for these people. They could, go golf, go fish, go spend time with your family, go just have fun, travel. But they can't do that, can they? Because they think they're going to live forever, but they're not. I don't get it, but I had to just vent on that for a little bit. But they're not the only two. Those are just powerful. And anyway, power hungry, ego mad, megalomaniac. Maybe ain't that could be applicable here. But back to control. A lot of people are saying that this, we haven't seen a big event. The big event is coming. Like I said, that does concern me a little bit as far as what's coming up. Because a lot of people in power don't want Donald Trump to come back in and be in power, but I believe he's going to get there. Now, if something happens right around the inauguration time, it would not shock me. It would not shock me one single bit. The big thing, I'm just trying to keep this high level as far as not getting too big into details, but I think the main thing here is to don't feed too much into this hysteria, because if you really read all the time about this, and if you're really diving deep into this, it'll work on you, and you'll start really stressing too much about this. It really is. It's easy to do. It's very easy to do. Remember what the hat that I wear, this hat that I wear every Sunday and some other days as well, is faith over fear. Let's remember that, and don't let it get to us and string us out. Are they trying to get more control of us? Probably so. What can we control, though? What can we control? What can we do? We can keep preparing, of course, but a lot of that preparation is spiritual, mental, and protecting ourselves and those around us, our loved ones, family, friends. So, like I said at the top, make time to do life and do your things and not get strapped down by this stuff, okay? The government's going to try to figure out a way to take more control and take more control away from you. But we have some say in that. We do have some control in how we mitigate that. We really do. I think we do. So don't be afraid. Don't let it get so much to you. All right. I hope that makes sense. I'm going to go to a passage, and I think I may do two of them because I have two prepared. So let me grab that. I'm going to the daily devotional that we always have. We always get one every year. I know it's old school. It's actually not electronic. It's actually a book on paper. Right. What a concept. What a concept. All right. First one is the book of Numbers, Old Testament. Book of Numbers, chapter 23, verse 21 says, "No misfortune is seen in Jacob, no misery observed in Israel. Their Lord, their God, the Lord, their God is with them." The Lord, their God is with them. Amen. The little excerpt says down, a little quote down at the bottom by the author says, "Today, Lord, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference." Isn't that the truth? We're just talking about that, right? Also, I'm going to go another one. One for today is 1 Peter. 1 Peter chapter 4, verse 10 says, "As each has received a gift, use it to serve one another, as good stewards of God's varied grace." Lord, I offer you my gifts to you. May they be used to bring peace, joy, and love. Amen. What gifts do you have? We all have them. No matter what you say about yourself or think what kind of abilities or not, or weaknesses you have gifts, you have a talent, you have a skill that I believe we all have something that makes us better at something than the average bear. So how are you using it? How can we use it to help somebody else? Because I think when we do that, we do the Lord's work too, whether we realize it at the time or not. We're using it to further the kingdom, to help somebody else. Maybe that person needs it so desperately. They need a word of encouragement. They need positive reinforcement. Maybe they need to hear something they need to hear, So think about that. Think about that. And let me know your thoughts on these subjects and what's going on, what's really, really, really going on out here. I would appreciate it. I appreciate it. I get interesting comments, but definitely keep them going. We love it, and we appreciate it. So let's be safe out there. Let's be careful in our adventures, and let's stay close to Jesus. It's number one. Stay close to Jesus. God bless y'all. I'll see you soon.